the important thing is the friends you make. Really is the important thing. There's this cultural change, this massive change, which you are at the vanguard of. So you're coming up with loads of technologies that are going to help the planet and help people survive and thrive, but you won't be able to do it alone. And I think that one of the things I value so much about being part of the science communication community, engagement community, is people like Becky. And all the people in this room, which I hope to get to know you today. And I think that's the thing I really feel you kind of really, I know looking around it might seem intimidating that you're going to have a network of people in 10 years' time. Some of them will be from this room, but you'll be contacting each other and supporting each other. But that, honestly, is what these events really can give you. And you only survive, as communities. The community is so important. So it's great to see you all here and gathered together. Now, isn't this a great lecture theatre? Whoa! Who's been here before? Yeah. So look, I think this is the most special science lecture theatre in the world. And I'm absolutely sure I'm right about this. It's probably one of the earliest. So about 200 years ago, this place was founded, a bit more than 200 years ago. But 200 years ago to the year, a guy called Michael Faraday started something here, where he took this lecture theatre and he said, I'm not just going to tell you about science and engineering, which was pioneering at the time anyway, because it was the first time that anyone has said the public has a right to know, the public has a right to be involved in science and engineering. So it happened right here on this spot. This is not a recreation, this is the exact place he stood. But not just that, okay? He was one of the most amazing scientists ever. He came from a very poor background, near where I live in Elephant Castle. He was a blacksmith's son. He wasn't in any way remarkable at the time, but he had this vision and ended up here, standing here in this august place where so much new science and technology was born. Right, so he then also did this thing, and the connection to this piano is quite a good one, because he was the inventor or discoverer of electromagnetism in this lab. So he had a lab upstairs, and so he discovered that electricity and magnetism are connected, and that you can make a magnet by running electricity through a coil. And, well, what are these? How are these keys being played? Anyone? These are electromagnets. So look, you brought them back 200 years later to the place they were born, and you're playing music, which he would have really appreciated, because he was a guy who was fun. He enjoyed these demonstrations. And that's the other thing I really want to say, is that we've got to do this together. It's a serious task, but you've got to have fun doing it. You've got to keep your head above water. And that's the other thing, is that I can see already that you're full of energy and curiosity, and don't ever give that up, right? Really, please. There's lots of doom around, but you have to encourage each other. Again, this is why communities are important, to also have side projects that people might think, oh, that's got nothing to do with climate change or biodiversity, but yes, it does, because you're learning by doing it, right? You have to learn so much to make it, and those skills are totally transferable to another problem you're going to solve in 5 years' time. You don't even know what it is yet. So always think, it's not just about solving the problems in front of me, it's also about curiosity. And this is the home of curiosity, this lecture theatre, this Royal Institution. So he started something else, Michael Faraday, which he said, look, not only am I going to sort of talk to the public, I'm going to have these things called the Christmas lectures. Every Christmas, I'm going to give lectures to young people. And they went on for days and days and days. And this was incredibly revolutionary. Like, there were barely schools at the time. So imagine this. He's standing here 200 years ago, literally here, telling people exactly like you how chemistry works. This newfangled thing called electricity, which no one knew about. He said it's going to revolutionize the future. People were like, really? And of course he was right. So don't underestimate how important it's been for people to stand up and kind of communicate science. And you're going to have to be one of those people, because in solving the problems you're solving, you're also going to have to explain how they work to investors, and because you're going to have to talk the language of getting a business up and running, right? Or a social enterprise up and running. So you need to also be very persuasive. You need to really understand your science, and you'll be able to communicate it in clear language to people who maybe don't. And so that's the other thing I think you should take from this whole event, which is that listen to people who are really good. When they do their pitches, think, wow, they're good. What did they do well? Can I learn from that? Because that's really how I ended up doing quite a lot of this, is that I've got a lab up the road in University College London. I love doing the science I do, solving problems, just like you do, but I also love talking to the public, talking to young people, and it's only by practice. So if someone gives you the opportunity to do this, pitch, in front, it's quite an intimidating place, I guess, right? But just do it, take it, because you'll always learn, and look at the other people, and you'll learn from them. So we'll all learn from each other. So have fun, right? Constantly keep that spark alive of curiosity. Believe in yourself. Really, really kind of don't. If you're going to have a side project that seems just trivial, don't let anyone put you off. It's really important. I'm not saying it's trivial. It's brilliant. And the other thing I want to say about the Christmas lectures is that at the time it was totally revolutionary. So you had young people in the seats you're sitting in. For the first time hearing about this amazing science, and then they later on became those scientists, those engineers, those technologists, those business people. So that was just revolutionary. What I've learned in the last 20 years, since I first met Becky, because we were one of the first people kind of putting our heads above the parapet in the UK going, you know what, the current paradigm of the way science and society interact is not working for us. We need much more engagement with the public. And we started doing TV programs together, and then we realized that, you know, TV perhaps isn't the future of this. Actually, what you need to do is empower people to take part, to be in control, especially young people. And so how to do that? Well, you need this thing called citizen science. You need to do what you're doing today, and what Becky's been doing for a long time, which is go to schools, get kids doing real science, solving real problems, empower them to be the revolutionaries of the future. And that's, I think all of you here today are really good examples of that. It's impressive. And that has taken us, and not just saying it's just us, you know, but there's been a cultural change that we have lived through, where that is now accepted practice. That's the way forward. We know this now. If you look at YouTube, you look at all the social media, science, engineering, it's all about individuals in their garages, in their homes, doing really amazing things. Young people, older people, it's for everyone. Science is not just to be consumed and you have to kind of enjoy the technology but you're not part of it. It's yours. And the data is yours. And I think that's the other thing about what I see from today is that you're producing data that other people will use. It's open data, and that gives them power. So this is really where the power comes in. It's like a mass movement that you're at the beginning of, and you will live through this incredible change where we actually do solve climate change, where we do solve the biodiversity crisis, where we stop polluting the ocean. You will live through that, and that will be so amazing for you. I'm so kind of envious of you. But I'm also like, you'll have such an important part to play. And so I really want to kind of give you courage to do that. Like, you're at the start of something really amazing. And then the last thing I want to say is, okay, science is about truth, right? It's about kind of finding out things and telling everyone, seeing where the evidence is. And we did a citizen science project about biodegradable plastics a few years ago, because there were lots of home compostable plastics coming into people's lives, home compostable coffee cups, home compostable bag, this, that, and the other, and we were like, I wonder if it does actually work. So we invited, instead of going to our lab and doing the experiments, we invited the whole public to take these products and put them in their garden, in their compost, and take a photo of them, and then monitor them, and then keep reporting back every 3 months, and looking at them again, inspecting them again, did they work? And then after 24 months, take a final photograph, and if they couldn't see it anymore, well then it's composted. If they could see it, show us the fragments. Anyway, so we got all this data from 10,000 people across the whole of the UK, so proper citizen science, let's do the experiment together, let's see what results. And the answer was, they didn't work, okay? They don't work. Okay, so that's not a bad result. Most of the people who are making those were totally trying to do the right thing, but we now found out that home compostable plastics is not the future. Fine, but we must be honest about that. So as a cohort, as a kind of movement, we have to also be really honest when our solution doesn't work, when our data shows it's not the way forward. Because if we don't show the negatives as well as the positives, we will not be real scientists. You're not really doing science. You have to be in the gathering of data and the analysis of data, whatever the end point you're trying to get to, and we're all on for that. You've still got to absolutely be honest that, okay, this particular thing I tried to do or we tried to do doesn't work. Let's move on. So be really clinical and be a scientist, right? get the data and be analytical in an independent way, because that's the reason why scientists are the most respected people in the UK, and that's true, by the way. They're more respected than politicians, lawyers, business people, anyone. We are the most respected class of people in the UK. But why are we respected? Because we're seen to be independent, and we will tell the truth. So always, always show the negative results. So that's it. Be curious. Do side projects that are fun. Connect with each other and change the world, but always, always be independent. And so, yeah, good luck for today.